Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Christoph and I am a tarot card reader. I'm also intuitive, and today we're going to be doing tarot card readings here on YouTube. I'm kind of experimenting right now, trying to figure out when the best time to do these live streams are. Right now, where I am, it's Friday, December 31st. It's about midnight, and we'll see who's out there right now. So I'm going to be doing tarot card readings. I'm actually going to be doing two things. I'm going to be recording me doing this as well, and I'm going to be using some of the video from this for future videos. Of course, if anybody watching wants a live reading from me, that's totally cool. You can feel free to ask me if you want a live reading. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and type a message in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. Right now, what we're going to be doing is I'm also using this live stream to record some readings for me. I'm using this to record some uh, YouTube Shorts. So I'll be using this live stream, turning it into YouTube Shorts. But for now, I'm going to be doing one card readings, and yeah, let's see how this all works out. If anybody's interested, I also have I do YouTube reading privately on Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com/r Christoph. You can find me on Fiverr, and I actually offer really affordable readings, some of the most affordable readings on the Fiverr platform, and I'm highly rated on there. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start with my first video here, and let's go ahead and take a look. If you're watching this video, this reading is for you, and this reading is about your love life. If you're watching this video, this is for you. It's about your love life. And the card that we pulled is the King of Swords. And the King of Swords represents intellectual power, truth, okay? And with sharp intellect and clarity of mind, the King of Swords is a representation of truth and its authority. He cuts through deception and is able to rule with a stern, calm intellect. He serves as an incorruptible pillar of strength through his calm of mind. So, if you're watching this reading, this is for you, and this reading is advising you to think more logically with your choices. Don't use your heart so much. Think with your brain a little bit more than your heart to make sure that you are in the correct relationship for you. If you are watching this video, this reading is for you, and today we're doing a love reading. The card that we pulled is the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords represents speeding into a situation. Represents action, speed, and ambition. The power of an idea to overwhelm is represented by the Knight of Swords. Filled with the vision and idea, he is propelled forward with unbridled ambition. Though his energy is great, there is also a warning associated with being unconscious about consequences. So this talks about don't speed into a relationship faster than you should. If you have feelings for somebody and you're jumping in too soon, be a warning of you that this might be bad for you. If you're seeing this, this reading is for you, and this reading is about your love life. The card that we pulled here is the King of Pentacles. And with the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles is all about abundance, power, and security. The fruits of worldly ambition have brought financial success and a sense of abundance, stability, and security. The King of Pentacles is a fatherly figure that provides all of those things, and is also someone that is happy to share all that they have accumulated. If this reading is for you, this card talks about you being in a happy relationship or a happy relationship coming your way soon with financial security. If you're watching this reading, this card is for you, and we have pulled the Ace of Wands. Now, with the Ace of Wands, this card talks about creation, willpower, and inspiration. This suit of wands is always the first step in the act of creation. It is the burning fire of intention, desire, passion, and ignites the spark of an idea. This card talks about you starting a new relationship, or if you're currently in a relationship, the fire sparking back up again. You're headed for some extreme positivity, so get ready. If you're watching this reading, this is for you, and this is a love reading. The card that we pulled is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a higher level card in the tarot. And the Priestess speaks about intuition, the unconscious, and your inner voice. To direct your will onward, you must be able to understand one's internal world. So pay attention to your emotions right now. Pay attention to your reactions and the way you feel about situations. If you go with your gut, your love life is going to head in a good direction. If you're currently in a relationship and your gut is telling you that something's wrong, pay attention because it just might be. If you're watching this video right now, this card is about your love life. The card that we pulled is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords represents complexity, perceptiveness, and clear-mindedness. A woman of immense complexity, sometimes considered cold-hearted, but also sharp of mind and wit, independent and possessing great powers of organization and analysis. This talks about using more logical decision-making rather than your heart to make decisions in regards to your relationship. If you're finding you're having difficulty in a current relationship, or you're waiting for one to start, thinking more logically about how to improve or make a relationship begin is what you should be focusing on right now. If you're watching this reading right now, this card is about your love life. And the card that we pulled is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands talks about exploration, excitement, and freedom. You're on the brink of a new creative project and vision. There is a spirit of discovery and enthusiasm and all kinds of ideas that you might have about the future. If you're currently in a relationship, this talks about you doing something new and exciting you may not have considered before in the relationship. If you're currently single, this talks about you going on an adventure and dating new people different than the ones that you've done before. If you have a standard type that you tend to go for, date off type. Date somebody that you wouldn't normally date, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. If you're watching this video, this card is for you, and it's about your love life. We've pulled the Devil card. Devil card is not a great card when it comes to relationships, but let's go in the full description for you. The devil represents excess, materialism, and playfulness. It represents the fears and obsessions and insecurity that holds humanity back from reaching their true potential. This talks about if you are currently in a relationship, don't let your fears hold you back. Try new things. If you're stuck in a rut, don't let yourself stay there and explore. If you are not in a relationship, this talks about that you're headed down the wrong path. You need to focus on finding more positive people. Try to avoid people who you feel like are manipulating you or trying to use you for something. If you're watching this video, this card is for you, and it's about your love life. And we pulled the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords represents unbridled ambition, winning at all costs, and sneakiness. Victory has been achieved, though it has come with subtle consequences by taking from your opponents their ability to fight back in some fashion. You might have also created resentment. Your actions have isolated you from those who could be helpful later on. If you are currently in a relationship, why are you manipulating your relationship? Don't manipulate your relationship. Don't lie about little things because it could come back to bite you later. If you're currently single, same deal. Don't make white lies about yourself or who you are or represent yourself in a different way when on a date or creating a profile online. It will just lead you down the wrong path. If you are watching this video, this reading is for you, and this is about your career. The Six of Cups represents nostalgia, happy memories, and reunion. The Six of Cups represents nostalgia, happy memories, and reunion. This happy meeting between past and present is indicated here. There's a sense of wonderful nostalgia for times long ago. If you are currently employed, this talks about your career headed in a more positive direction and you actually feeling better about your job based on some life decisions that you recently made. If you are currently unemployed, this talks about you going back into a similar job from your past that holds positive feelings. Do look for jobs that kind of bring back old childhood memories or early memories related to something that you care about or enjoy. If you're watching this video, this is about your career. And the card that we pulled is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands represents community, home, and celebration. A celebration of harmony and happiness and good relationship. It's a time of peace after a period of hard work. The Four of Wands usually indicates this is in regards to family or large group of people. If you've been working for a very long time, this card talks about how it might be time for you to retire. If you are new to a position, it speaks about looking for work at home opportunities where you can be close to family. And if anybody's watching the live stream right now, I am doing live readings currently. I'd be happy to answer any question that you may have. Also, I do live readings on fiverr.com/r Christoph. If anybody has a question for me and they would like me to do a reading for them live, I'd be happy to do so. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel and type something in. Oh, we got one already. And you were wondering what specific things that Ivan and you have coming for you together as a couple in the next 3 months. So let's find this out. Let's find this out right now. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and this is going to represent the next 3 months. What's going to be happening with the two of you together as a couple in the next 3 months. So this is January, February, and March. So the first card that we have here, it looks like things are going to be kind of a little bit restricted. It seems like you guys are coming out of well, it seems like you're in a situation that feels like you're being held back a bit. I do feel that this is temporary. You're going to be working yourself out of this kind of feeling of being a little bit trapped, a little bit overwhelmed. Okay. That's going to be kind of what January is going to be like, but you're going to work your way out of it. February, unfortunately, it looks like that it is going to continue. There is some kind of, difficulties on the way. I do think it's just that the two of you have some life challenges that you're going to have to be sorting through. It isn't going to be anything out of the ordinary. I don't think it's going to be as negative as what these cards represent. But there is going to be kind of work involved to kind of get your life set in a positive direction. And of course, March is going to be a little bit more kind of a little bit of fighting, a little bit of a battle there, but things are going to actually be headed in a positive direction. Let me pull one more card. Let's take a look at April, because, and there we go, the Emperor. Things start kind of working out with the planning and situation, and you guys do get hold of kind of your life situation. There's a lot of things that are happening, for the both of you over the first 3 months of the year. There's a lot of things that you're going to be working through. There's a lot of things that you're going to be figuring out about your lives, your kind of the new situation that you find yourself in, and that's going to be something like a challenge that you're going to have to overcome. But the end of this, you will get a hold, you'll figure out kind of, but it's kind of like random scenarios. It's like things that you have to become accustomed to. I don't think the cards are as bad as what they appear here, but it's just kind of like a complexity to your lives together, where things will need to be sorted out and organized before stuff becomes clear. Okay. But this did end with the Emperor, and the Emperor represented kind of April. So you will be kind of getting control over things that may be chaotic over the first 3 months. But these are just kind of like, believe it or not, although the cards are negative, these are kind of like normal life, complexities that you're going to be working through. It isn't going to be an easy situation, which is why the cards are kind of represented in a negative fashion. But this is something that you're going to be able to kind of work through. But it's all a part of kind of life challenges, especially with what's going on in the world right now. But I do think that you're going to be figuring things out probably by April or May. Not that any of this stuff's going to go bad. It's just there's going to be a lot of like worry. Can you figure it out? Can you figure it out? And just dealing with things that pop up. But ultimately, I think you're going to be in a good spot there towards the end. Yes, and you definitely do have to figure some things out. There's some surprises on the way, which you already know what those surprises are, though. Vacation in June, yeah, absolutely. I would say that that's probably a good idea, provided there's no kind of restrictions for you around that time. Absolutely. I've been trying to figure out how to do a vacation, and every time I plan something, there ends up being kind of restrictions that get in my way. So I'm hoping to go on vacation as soon as it's physically possible. Of course, the places I always decide I want to travel to, they end up having COVID restrictions. I don't know. Maybe it's just the universe trying to make me work harder. I don't know. Because every time I go, ooh, I want to go to this place, it's like, nope, travel restriction. I'm like, oh man, why? Why a travel restriction? Thanks so much for asking that question. Sorry the cards weren't more positive, but it's just about typical life struggle. It's nothing terrible. It's just, the complexity and funness of the universe right now, and the struggles that the universe is putting everybody through. That's great. All right. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get back to what I was doing. We're doing kind of, as I'm doing this live stream, I'm also doing kind of recording videos for my YouTube shorts. So that's what I'm doing while I'm doing this. Feel free to ask another question for vacation time in June or no. Oh, another question. Okay, let's do this. Just saw it. Sorry about that. Will he join my family and me for vacation time in June? This is a yes or no. Let's do a yes or no. So if it's a positive card, it's a yes. If it's a negative card, it is a no. And it looks like a no. Let's look at the clarity cards on this. We're not getting happy cards for you today. Maybe this is going to be a part of that complexity that's going to be happening. Um, so the clarity cards that basically kind of explains this no. The clarity cards, the Page of Wands, basically talks about kind of planning, looking ahead into the future. So right now, that's exactly what you're doing. You're kind of planning and outlooking a potential kind of vacation. The Queen of Swords, though, I'm going to actually read you the full description for the Queen of Swords because I think this is the key to the no. And the Queen of Swords talks about complexity, perceptiveness, and clear mindedness. Okay. A woman of immense complexity, sometimes considered cold hearted, but also sharp of mind and wit, independent and possessing great powers of organization and analysis. So I do feel that it feels like somebody, an authority figure, might prevent him from being able to either get vacation time, or it might be a female family presence in his life might actually hold him back and prevent him, be it kind of, it would be like a mother figure or an aunt or that sort of stuff. Um, so there's gonna be a change. Something's gonna be affecting, I think, the vacation in some way, and how many people can go. Um, but I do see kind of like you guys making plans, but then an authority figure kind of stopping. This might be a restriction thing too. Maybe this is the type of thing where you guys plan it all out, and then some sort of restriction happens to kind of prevent it. I do think that not all of you will be held back for one reason or another. And my hope is that things continue to get better. But it does look like something might pop up. Something might pop up to prevent him from kind of going in June. Okay. Let me ask a question here because I'm actually interested. Let's see if it prevents you. I'm going to ask that. Will this same issue prevent you from going in June? We're looking for a positive or a negative card. So no, that's a positive card. It looks like whatever you're going to do, you're going to be able to work around whatever the difficulty. So it looks like you're going to go. It looks like this vacation is going to happen in June. Oh, that's what I should do. I should do well, here's the problem. Whenever you're reading, like, the weird part is like my intuition, my tarot card reading, it never works on myself. Like you can read for other people, but a lot of intuitives and people who do tarot cards or other type things will always say they can't do readings for themselves. And I actually do readings for a lot of other prominent tarot card readers that can't do readings for themselves. And it's really frustrating because I can help other people, but then when I sit down to try to do readings for myself, they don't always. I think it's a matter of I know too much about myself. I know too much about my life. And because I know too much about myself and my life, my own opinions, my own bias tends to go through and on the reading. So I find that I actually read better for people when I have less information about them than more information. So thanks so much for asking those questions there. Do appreciate it. I'm going to go back into what I was up to there. I'm basically recording YouTube Shorts. Well, yeah, not telling him about your family, that might change. It's possible. It's possible because it did talk about some plans happening and then a strong female figure stepping in. So maybe you're the strong female figure that gives him information that kind of changes it. It's so hard to read for yourself. It is really difficult. And I do have I do readings on Fiverr.com, And there's actually a lot of really great tarot card readers on there. And I guess I'm one of them now because my ratings and all that have gone up, and I'm on a higher tier there now. But there's a couple of really fantastic tarot card readers on Fiverr, and I do readings. I have done a couple of readings with one of them, and they're fantastic. Like a lot of times when I was growing up, when I got readings from psychics and that sort of thing, it was a really weird thing. They would give me readings, and then whatever they predicted for me would end up happening to one of my friends. Like when they were looking into me, they weren't seeing me; they were seeing somebody else through me. And my whole childhood, I was never able to find a psychic or a reader that was actually able to kind of read me properly. So I thought, oh well, maybe I'm not one of these people that can be read. And then when I got a little bit older, I work in film and TV as well. I was working on a television show that had an intuitive on the show, and she was able to just read me just like a book. For the first time, I actually had an intuitive read me, and then I'm like, wow. And she was so accurate. It was just unbelievable. Everything that she said happened. And she kept telling me way about the future and all the things I was going to achieve. And I had to eventually just tell her, okay, stop. Don't tell me anything more. You told me too much. And whenever I kind of bumped into her after that, my life seems to gravitate me back towards her every once in a while. I don't let her read for me anymore because she kind of freaked me out. She knew too much. Yeah, it's great. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I was just, I don't know. Maybe I didn't need the reading, so I kind of maybe it was somebody I was thinking about. I could always like channel people, so I could think about people and feel what situations and that sort of stuff that they were in. But yeah, that one intuitive who I ran into, she was unbelievable. Like she could see right through everything. She knew what I was thinking, what would happen. I was actually dating somebody at the time, and then she told me without asking that that wasn't the one for me, and she never met her or nothing. And it's like, nope, that's not the one you're going to marry, and it wasn't the one. I'm married now, but that wasn't the one that that I was going to marry. She actually told me to leave her. You know the girl you're dating right now, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, she's not good for you. You need to leave her. Like she like whispered to me while we were on set recording, which was funny. Thank you very much as well too. I really appreciate it. And anyway, let's get back to what I was doing. We were talking about business, and I was doing one-off card reading. So if you're watching this video right now, this card is for you, and it's about your career. We pulled the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is all about overflowing energy, overflowing emotion, and overflowing with money. Absolutely. It looks like you're going to be having an increase in money. Whether or not, if you're currently working at a job, you may be entitled for a raise. So do open up and talk about that with your superior. If you are currently unemployed, it does talk about you finding a job very, very soon and actually making more money than you did with your last position. If you're watching this video right now, this card is for you, and it's about your career. We pulled the Three of Wands, and this is all about thinking about the future and planning ahead. You may have been stuck in the same position for a little while, wanting to know what changes to make. Now's the time to think about what moves that you want to make to move forward. There's a lot of positive things on the way for you, and provided you plan for those changes and figure out what you want, you will actually be able to achieve that. If you're currently unemployed, this is all about you figuring out what career and what business that you want to get into in the near future. Now's the time to plan and to make those dreams a reality. If you're watching this video right now, this card is for you and it's all about your career. This is the 10 of Cups, and it represents the fulfillment. It represents that happy life. In the card, you have a happy family, children. So if you're currently employed, it talks about you getting a promotion, a raise, things going very, very well for you in the next few months. It's all about kind of being the squeaky wheel, though. So you do have to ask your bosses, that sort of thing, because it's time for you to move up. It's time for you to get a raise. Your hard work has paid off. If you're currently unemployed, it talks about you finding your dream job or at least getting started with it. So do start looking. Think about what it is that you enjoy doing and find a career in that field. You're going to do extremely well and it's going to lead to a happy life. If you're watching this video right now, this card is for you and it's about your career. This card is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is about courage, determination, and joy. It represents the feminine aspect, which is fiery, determined, and strong. Like the other wand card suits, she is a natural leader whose courage in the face of adversity is an inspiration to all around her. If you're currently working, this talks about taking more initiative, working just a little bit harder to get noticed by your superiors. If you're currently unemployed, look for a strong female in the industry that you're looking to work in. You most likely have a friend or a family connection that will be able to get you in the door. If you're watching this video right now, this card is for you, and this is about your career. We pulled the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is actually a spectacular card. It talks about overall positive career achievement, raises, and things being headed on a fantastic track for you. The card represents comfort, emotional security, and luxury. If you're currently employed, it talks about you getting a raise, but make sure to ask for it. And if you're unemployed, it talks about you finding a new job in a quick fashion that will actually make you more money than your previous position. If you're if you're watching this video, this card is for you and it's about your career. And the card that we pulled is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is all about perseverance. No, that's not it. Yeah, no, it is. Seven of Swords. If you're watching this video, it's for you and it's about your career. The card that we pulled here is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords represents deception, trickery, and turning a blind eye. If you're currently employed, someone in your organization is working against you. Do pay attention to the people that you are working with to make sure that they're not deceiving you for their own benefit. If you are currently unemployed, do pay attention to those jobs that you're applying for. Read the description to the job very carefully to make sure you understand the position and to make sure they're paying you a reasonable rate. If you're watching this video right now, this card is for you and it's about your career. The card that we pulled is the Fool, and it represents innocence, new beginnings, and a free spirit. If you're currently employed, this talks about you taking a leap in a new direction, a blind leap, a leap of faith, whether or not you're applying for a different position within your organization or a promotion. This talks about making that leap because it's going to lead to a positive decision. You may also be looking at leaving your current organization for something new, and it does represent that. If you're currently unemployed, this represents you jumping into a new field that you previously didn't consider. Apply for something that you don't think that you'll be able to get, and you'll be surprised when you get an interview for that position. And if anybody's watching right now, I'd be happy to do questions. I'm just recording other things while I'm doing this. I'm recording some videos that are going to end up on my YouTube Shorts right now. But if you have a question, feel free to ask it. Be happy to answer the questions there for you. And I've actually started, I was doing some live streams. I think you were a part of one of them where I was actually recording the meaning of every tarot card. So I actually finished that. And I've started to post all of those in YouTube Shorts. So if you take a look on the YouTube Shorts section of my YouTube channel, you can actually see that I've started posting all of those videos. What does January look like for you and your boyfriend? Let's find out. I'm going to pull 3 cards. And let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Now, I just did a reading earlier in the video, and we got some negative cards, but it meant well. The cards meant well. I hope we get some positive stuff for you. Oh, boy, that's fantastic. That's the 10 of Pentacles. That is the 4 of Swords, and that is the 10 of Wands. So it talks about the 10 of Pentacles actually talks about an achievement. It talks about this card kind of talks about kind of positive things with family, positive things with maybe a possible inheritance, but it talks about a boost in kind of finances and money. So I don't know whether or not you're going to be, one of you is going to be trying out something new or working an extra job or getting a raise, but it says that something's really positive is going to be happening for you in January. It also talks about you guys taking a little bit of a break at some point in January as well. So maybe because of maybe a little boost in some money that you're getting from somebody or that you're making through a job or position, you're going to be taking some time to rest. This card is actually really positive. The 4 of Swords, it's about kind of rest and contemplation to try to figure out the direction that you're going to be going in. And then, the rest of the month, you guys are going to be working really, really hard to achieve something, okay? So there's going to be kind of like a life change that's going to be happening, a positive life change that's going to involve work, okay, and you're ultimately going to achieve that change. Now, the 10 of Wands is actually a positive card, but the negative aspect of this card, it does talk about burden. So there will be burden in relation to the work that you're going to be doing that I think is going to kind of, it may have already started, but it's work that you're going to be continuing throughout January, but it's going to lead to a good end. But with any kind of work situation, with any kind of life growth or effort that you put into anything in life, there's always a little bit of burden that comes with that effort. I think we were talking about this before. So this actually lines up, about the new home. This lines up with that. So are you going to end up going for the more expensive home then? Because I think we got the 10 of Wands when we were talking about the homes, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering the previous reading correctly. But yeah, it does look like things are going to be kind of moving forward with that. And yeah, a boost in money, that's going to be extremely helpful, okay? And this is whether or not you're going to be working harder, getting a promotion or having a assistant. So maybe this talks about you being able to get like a good mortgage to assist you in figuring it out. But no, no, you guys are gonna figure out those finances for sure. Like this card talks about that, right? It's about kind of an increase in money, and maybe that's what the contemplation and break is about because you're gonna be thinking about things as well too. I do think that like with that previous reading that I did for you, I think you were asking me about two different houses. I think right, if I'm not mistaken. But I saw nothing but positive stuff the last time we did our previous reading. So I do think that the two of you are going to be figuring it out. Yeah, I think you guys are probably going to be going for the bigger house. I think it's going to be one of these situations where if you find the money, which this kind of talks about that, this kind of speaks to you having a boost in finances next month. I have a feeling if you guys find the money, you're going to go for it, even if it takes longer to pay off. Although I think that my previous reading, I'm cheap. I'm a little cheap myself, so I always go on the side of paying less. And but if you want to go for that bigger home, then the more expensive one, I think that you're going to be able to find the money to make that happen. Whether or not you're going to be getting a bigger loan than what you're expecting, or um, yeah, it was positive for both. Yeah, it absolutely was positive for both. But yeah, something tells me that you guys are the type of people who, if you find the money, you go for it. And I think you should, because the only difference I think from that previous reading that we did was that you'll have to work harder. And here's the fun part about this reading is we got that 10 of wands, and I think we pulled this 10 of wands for your last reading. And this was what represented kind of the additional work that you would have to do in order to kind of pay off that bigger, more expensive home. And we got that again in this reading. So it is kind of suggesting the bigger home. Yeah, and you know what? There was nothing negative about the reading. It's just a matter of are you going to be able to get that money to do it? And I think you will. And if you do get the money to be able to move forward with that bigger home, it's better. Like especially with the way kind of the market is working now. Property, how much houses and things are worth in the world right now. It's been going up. Unless you're living in a place, where a disaster happened, in which case it's a great time to buy there, right? Um, but in general, I do see that regardless of which house that you end up getting, it's going to be a really great return on investment. And with that more expensive house, um, it's just about you're going to have to work harder to keep it. And I don't think either of you are afraid of working hard. Now, there's lots of people out there that don't like working hard, but I don't think that the two of you are those types of people. I think that you will work hard, and that's the only thing. It's just keeping control of things and working hard, and I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be really good. And if there's, I see that there's somebody else on the stream right now. If anybody has a question, be happy to do any readings. I'm here on YouTube right now. I'm happy to do a reading for free. I'm also on fiverr.com/rchristoff. If you want a personal one-on-one reading with me there, I offer ridiculously affordable prices there, and I'm doing readings for free as I'm on my stream right now. Oh, your next boyfriend. Okay. So I'm gonna do a reading right now about your next boyfriend. We're gonna pull 3 cards. And I think we asked about your boyfriend's job. I'm going to try to pull his initials, but let me see here. I'm going to just answer this quick question for Blue Butterfly because I was just talking, and then I'll get to your question right away. Just hold on. So, Blue Butterfly, do I see January, February? So, your boyfriend's job in January, your boyfriend's job in February, and maybe that was that whole boost in money. January. So that was that we had that whole 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. It's January. I think his job's gonna begin in January, and that's gonna be that boost of money. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on to your question. Initials. Initials are gonna be tricky. But let me see. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna pull 3 cards and I'm gonna describe your next boyfriend. So on my Fiverr thing, I do this thing for my love readings. I call it a soulmate reading where I basically give you a description of your soulmate. Now, we don't know if your next boyfriend's going to be your soulmate, so I'm not going to do a soulmate reading, but what I'm going to do is the next boyfriend reading, and I'm going to pull 3 cards. And these 3 cards are going to describe his personality, okay? And then I'm going to pull the initials, and I'm going to do this in a fun way. I'm going to use my oracle cards. This will be fun how I pull the initials, okay? So let's find out about your next boyfriend's personality. So right here, he's going to be somebody who is an achiever, basically achieves a lot of stuff. This card actually talks about like celebration of achievement. So it's somebody that likes to celebrate their achievements also. So they do things in life that are perceived by other people as being big kind of life achievements, and they're not afraid to celebrate it. They're going to be recovering from a really bad, disastrous relationship. Okay. So when you meet them, they're basically going to be heartbroken. They're going to be coming out of kind of a really terrible relationship. They're going to be somebody who they're not damaged, but they've been hurt. And they might be a little bit cautious. It might take time for you to gain their trust fully. But it also might be the type of thing where there's a connection between the two of you, and they're going to feel comfortable with you. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the 3rd card. Yeah, boom, it's going to happen when you meet this person. I think it's going to be like a magnetism. Like we got the 2 of Cups, which is basically the relationship card. Your next boyfriend is going to be really interested in long-term relationship. I think that this whole disaster card is all about like one disastrous short-term relationship after another, and I think that hurt, that destruction, is going to finally make him ready to be in a real relationship. Okay, so I do see that that happening, but I think it's going to be like you're going to feel the connection with them instantly. I don't think it's going to be a virtual meeting. I don't think you're going to be meeting them online. I have a feeling that it's going to be some type of physical meet or some type of random chance thing. Okay. Whether or not it's somebody that you already know, I feel like it's somebody that you're going to meet as a part of something. So meet while you're out somewhere, meet when you're buying something, or just maybe, I don't want to say it's somebody at your work because I don't think it's somebody where you work, or, you know, but I think it's somebody that's around you when you're somewhere doing something on a regular basis. So I do think that you're going to physically encounter them, and I think it's going to be one of these things where you're going to do my twins have anything to do with telling me, or my boyfriend? Just curious. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. See if your twins have anything to do with you finding your next boyfriend. Do your twins have anything to tell me? Okay, let's just ask that question. This is a yes or no question. Do your twins have anything to tell you about your boyfriend? Yeah. 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 But it's not good. Do you have a current boyfriend right now? Or are you single? Because that's the question I should be asking right now. But this next boyfriend, it is going to be a positive. I think it's going to be happening soon. You may have already met the next boyfriend. It's just you weren't really looking, and it's not like they stood out initially. And I think this whole heartbreak scenario is actually happening right now with them. So I think they're in the process of a really messy breakup. Oh yeah, that card we just pulled. Yeah. Where was it? That was the nightmare card. I put it back in my deck. Here it is. I think that they might tell you about a guy that's having a bad time. I think that's what this is talking about. Uh, is your next boyfriend somebody who is foreign? Yeah, that's a good question. We're gonna do a yes or no. So the way yes or no's work, if the card's positive, it's yes. If the card's negative, it's a no. That's a yes. So, but foreign can mean a whole bunch of different things. Okay. I'm going to say accent. They're going to have some kind of an accent. Okay. But I feel like they're going to be well adjusted to whatever area they're currently living in. So I don't think they're going to be here. I don't think they just arrived wherever they are. I think they're going to be there for quite some time. It is. It's going to be somebody completely new that you're gonna encounter in reality rather than virtually. Which usually when I'm doing these readings about future boyfriends, it's usually you're going to meet them online. But this time the cards are specifically saying that it's going to be more of like a physical meet. Okay, his physique. Okay, I don't know what aspect of physique you want to know about, but I'm just going to ask and see what card we get, okay? I'm also going to get you initials. I'm going to do something to do those initials. Give me a second. Okay. So what is his physique going to be like? I don't know if this is possible. I've never asked this of the tarot cards before, but let's find out. Oh, okay. So this is the 5 of Swords. Okay. So yes, this is somebody that might be a fighter, might be, because this talks about like somebody that would be wielding a sword. So this would be somebody who's maybe like a fighter or into some sort of like fight sports or kind of maybe karate, some sort of physical contact type stuff, because this card is actually all about kind of fighting and physicality. So this person is going to be physical, so they're probably going to be in really good shape because of that. So I do see them. Maybe they do something physical. They do something physical like a sport or something like that. Okay. Let's do the initials. Here's how we're going to do the initials. Okay, I'm going to do the initials for you right now. Is it possible? Yeah, the physique. I've never done the physique question before. Is this like New Year's gift to me? Yeah, this is going to be happening in the new year. So I think this is going to be happening within like the first 2 months. Probably not 3 months, but I think the first 2 months. I think that wherever it is that you go, he's already seen you and you've already kind of passed by him, or like he's in an environment that you already go to. Um, maybe do you go to the gym? Maybe he's doing some sort of punching bag stuff at the gym that you're at. Maybe he's a personal trainer. I don't know. I'm guessing the gym thing. That's just me taking a wild guess. But let's go ahead and pick his initials. Okay. So these are oracle cards, and I'm going to be using these oracle cards in the wrong way, in the absolute wrong way. But here's what we're going to be doing. Okay. We're going to take the first letter. Now, oracle cards basically tell you a direct message from the universe. They're different than the tarot cards. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically get the first letter. I'm going to pull 2 cards. One is going to be for the first name. The second card is going to be for the last name. So we're going to get their initials. And I'm going to pull 2 cards. And we're going to find out what the initial for the first name is and what the initial for the last name is. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So that's the initial for the first name. And we're looking at the first letter. And that's the initial for the second name. We're looking at the first letter. Okay. A. So the first name is going to start with an A or have an ah sounding name. Okay. So the first letter is an A. Is the second letter going to be an A? It's a B. Okay. So that's what it's saying. It's saying an A and a B. So look for somebody with an A and a B. Now, it might be that their first name starts with a B and their last name starts with an A, or it might be that their first name starts with an A and their last name starts with a B. Okay. So these may be inversed. Okay. So it did say A, B. Okay. But it might be the last name or first name may be a B, or the last name and first name may be an A. Okay. So do look at that. I don't know how accurate that is because I've never used these cards that way before to basically pick the name. And the fun part is the tarot cards also have numbers at the top. Maybe I can figure out what his phone number is for you. But I don't think that'll work though. Wouldn't that be scary though? If I basically figured out his phone number using the tarot cards, and then you phone it, and then it ends up being the guy that you fall in love with, and he ends up being a boxer or something, I would be the most unbelievable tarot card reader on the face of the earth. But I think that would be an extremely long shot. Oh man. But yeah, there we go for that. Yeah, but it's looking positive for you. And yeah, according to this, he's going to be a fighter of some kind, some type of, some type of karate fight sport, something with punching and kicking. Um, oh, your twin boys. Yes, yes. I remember that. I remember those. Absolutely. Do your twin boys have any message for you? Yeah, wouldn't that be fun if they had a message for you? Let's see. We're going to pull 2 cards, one for each boy. Okay. So there you go. There's the first card. That's the first boy. The second card. That's the second boy. The twin boys. Let's see what message they have for you. Well, right now, one boy is basically being held back from being in the world. They're not born yet, are they? So yeah, the one boy feels trapped. Let's see what the second boy says. Oh, the second boy's in charge. Okay, the second boy is the emperor. So one boy is already dominant. Okay. Maybe there's a situation where one boy is overlapping the other boy, but I think it's fine. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting, right? You're welcome. I'm happy to help and uh yeah, so their lives are simple right now, these boys. So I don't think there's much really they're thinking about right now. So one boy feels trapped. So that means that the other boy is maybe a bit dominant and pushing on him a bit too much, but I don't think that it's anything bad. Maybe one boy is going to end up growing up to be claustrophobic. Wouldn't that be interesting? Um, you know, but yeah, definitely one boy is very much like already a leader in charge. Like when these kids are born, you're gonna know like one's just gonna be the leader, the emperor, the one in charge. And the other one is basically gonna be a little bit. I'm not gonna say timid. The other one is gonna be just a little bit more subdued. Okay, and that's not a negative thing. It's just the standpoint of one's gonna think about things more before they do it, and the other one is just gonna do it because they're in charge and they're the boss. Like that's the kind of the feeling that I get from them. And maybe it all comes from the womb. Oh yeah, no, I don't see anything. They're both healthy. Absolutely. What do they have to say to their dad? Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what they were saying to you. I feel claustrophobic. Okay, let's see. What do they have to tell their dad? I do get the sense that the dad talks to them. He talks to them, doesn't he? He's actually being he's talking to them already. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's the first boy, that's the second boy, the 2 twins. Okay. Oh, okay. Nothing good to say. That's weird. Okay, I think one of the boys is going to be closer to the dad than the other. The one that's subdued, I think, is going to be closer to you, and I think that the emperor is going to be closer to the father because one card talks about like a really solid relationships already being formed. And has your husband been playing like rock music or something like that to the kids? That's what I want to know. Yeah, I think this represents just the one boy having a stronger relationship to the father. But it's not like I'm getting like messages from them. It's almost like I'm just getting like instinct. It feels like these cards are just like reactions and instinct. Um, so that's kind of what I'm feeling from this. But yeah, it already seems like they're bonding. like the emperor's bonding to the dad. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Um, Played rap music. You played rap music, but I have been listening to rock music actually. What did the dad play music? Because maybe it's that the one kid doesn't like the dad's choice in music. Because when I saw this, the first instinct that I thought was like, maybe that you guys were playing music to the kids, and one of them didn't like whichever music that was the dad's choice. That was my first instinct. And when I saw this image, I just thought like lightning hitting a building. I thought, oh, that looks like the cover of like a rock album. um, but oh no, listening to music is a really fantastic thing to do, and it doesn't matter if the kids don't like it. It helps with kind of mental development and all that sort of stuff. Like any type of communication is really fantastic there. Yeah, and it's interesting. Yeah, it's like the way the readings that might be true because I feel more comfortable with the rap music than his choice. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe one kid likes rap and the other kid likes the rock more. Wouldn't that be interesting? Keep track of which kid is see if the timid one likes you know, the rap music more. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? One likes rap, one likes rock. Like 5 to 10 years later, you're like, hey, that tarot reader guy, he was right. He was right. And if I'm still around doing tarot card readings by then, send me a message and let me know I was right. That would be fantastic. I think you will need bed rest. Let's ask though, because I do feel that that's something that's important. Because my I don't think you told me about this before, but maybe you did. But my feeling is that this is a doctor ordered thing, and that it's kind of important. Okay, let's see. We're going to do a yes or no. Will you still need bed rest during your pregnancy? Okay. And that's a yes. And the clarity cards, it's like, yep, we got the lover's card, which it means it's something that's necessary in order for this to move forward properly. But I do get the feeling that the time is going to feel like it's like, I think that's what this card means. I think this card means the time is it's going to be over before you know it, type of thing. But no, yeah, the feeling that I got from this, that it absolutely was, it was a doctor ordered thing, I'm guessing, right? That's how it feels. But yeah, just keep following those directions. I'm going to tell you this, before you know it, these kids are going to be like 13 and 14, and it'll just have like time will just fly by. Time will just go whoosh, and they'll be grown up, and you'll be like, where did the time go? Hi, how's it going? Nice to see you in here. If anybody's got a question, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer questions while I'm doing the live stream. I'm going to be doing the live stream for probably only another 15, 20 minutes or so. Yeah, the doctor said the same thing. Yeah, no, I got that feeling right away when you wrote it. And that's something that's really important. You want to take like great care to listen to what your doctor has to say. Because they're not telling you to do these things. They wouldn't tell you to do it unless it was important. I'm one of these people. I do believe in doctors. I trust doctors because If they're responsible for something bad happening, that's a lot of, you know, I know if I was a doctor and I advised somebody something that was, if I was responsible for somebody dying or being hurt, or I'd feel really bad, right? Um, yeah, time just goes quickly, so fast. Um, and that's it. You gotta kind of, you know, you might be going through a good time, terrible time, but you'll never have the time back again. Every day that goes by is another day that is gone, that you'll never have back. So, cherish this whole thing, everything that's going on right now. Like, you're creating life right now, and that's unbelievable. Like, yes, there's a negative aspect and a positive aspect. You don't really feel great. You have to follow the doctor's orders. Um, but yeah, it's truly a fantastic thing that's going on right now. Oh, that's an interesting. Will they be identical twins or fraternal? That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one. How do I do that? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pull two cards, one for each of the twins. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Will the twins be identical or fraternal? Okay. That's twin one. That's twin two. We got a king and a queen. Two different suits, though. Hmm. Let me try that again. Let me do a yes or no. So this is a yes or no to whether or not they will be identical, and this is a yes or no if they'll be fraternal. So it's a big yes on identical. And kind of an in-between card on fraternal. I'm going to go for identical. But then I think it's one of those things where the older they get, the less they look. Because there's sometimes there's like twins that even though they're identical, they slowly change. Like you can tell that they were identical at one time, but it's like their lives go in like different directions. So that's what I think happens here. I think that they will start out identical, but then depending on what they grow or eat or their physical activity or what they choose to do, their look is going to divert as time goes on. Yeah, no, I think I think it is identical. But the cards were kind of like yes, but then the cards were also like a little bit of no. So that's why I'm gonna say they're gonna look different when they're older. Maybe one will be a bit taller somehow. Like one will have a mustache. The other a beard. Maybe one's gonna be wild and dye their hair all sorts of colors. But I don't feel they're gonna be similar. I think their personalities are gonna be really different. Like that's what all these cards are saying. Like they're gonna be like even if they look the same, they're going to be really different from each other. They're gonna be like two different personalities. Yeah, so your grandmother was an identical twin, and now her and her sister look different. Yeah, it's just about how you live your life choices. It's kind of a really big thing when it comes to the way you look and who you are. Um, it could be something as simple as what you eat, or how often you work out, or whether or not one of them gets a more physical job and the other one gets more of a button pushing job, right? There's a lot of things that can happen. I do think that they're gonna live for a long time too. Like I see them both getting old. uh, what does your boyfriend need from me moving forward? And I felt like did I already answer this question for you? I think I did. I ask did. Do you remember me answering this one already? This question seems really familiar to me. I think you asked me this one. Well, everybody gets a little older every day. It's about if do you feel old on the inside? That's what counts. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna let's do it again. But I think I did this one before. At least it feels like I did. Okay, let's see. What does your boyfriend need from you moving forward? Let's see. I'll pull 3 cards. We'll see what it has to say. 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards. Okay, so traditional, like the Hierophant is all about tradition, following the things that are going on right now. The King of Swords is about somebody who's kind of they're difficult to read. So it's somebody who might be difficult to read, that they don't really share their emotions a lot. So that might be why you might be having difficulty figuring out what he wants. But he's very traditional. And the third card talks about kind of a positive thing, a celebration. You know what? I think he's already happy. I think he's already happy. I don't think that there's anything that you need to do. I think he's already in a good place, even if he doesn't kind of like show it. I feel like he's one of these, like, he has a wall up blocking his emotions out. He's one of those guys. But all you really need to do is, like, at nighttime, I see you and him just having a nighttime conversation, like before bed, and open up a dialogue with him. But I don't think he needs anything. I think it's already. I think he's already. I think he's already pretty happy. We got the 4 of Wands here, and that talks about kind of like a celebration, kind of like a family celebration, get together. Talk overall happiness. Like, you got these 2 people here, and Toga's waving plants around. They're super happy. But no, I think that even if he's not showing it, I think he's happy with the progression of the way things are going. I don't think there's much that he's gonna ask, but so much of his love is buying gifts. Yeah, because he doesn't want to express his true feelings, right? Like, a lot, like, and I was from this generation too. Like, when I was growing up, like, my father and my grandfather, they were when I was growing up, they taught me what a man was, what a real man was, right? And a real man, like, never shows his emotions, and a real man is strong, and all this sort of stuff. All of these new definitions that are being broken now. But I do think that your guy still follows a lot of those man rules, which means he doesn't share his emotions freely, and he's sometimes hard to read. Yeah, and you can pick up on that love sometimes, even if he doesn't express it, and you can see it. Like, you can see it in someone's eyes. Like, if you're really looking closely in someone's eyes, you can see it. Yeah, absolutely. You can. That's a really good thing. You can pick up on that sense. Like, he's letting out the signs, but there's very subtle signs that he's kind of releasing and letting out there about everything. But no, he definitely loves you, and he's really excited about kind of the family, the kids, and the developments that are happening right now. He does like to be in his emperor energy, be a provider. Yeah, maybe that's why he's going to get along with the other kid, because the kid's going to be born an emperor. you know, yeah, one kid is going to be, yeah, like a little leader is going to be in charge. wants to do everything first, wants to try everything first, wants to make the decisions. The one kid will be like stubborn and be more difficult, and then the other kid's going to be quiet and observant. I think the quiet and observant kid is going to be like, because he thinks before he speaks, he's going to be maybe a bit more easy to deal with, but I think at the end of it, he's going to spend more time thinking than talking, and he's going to end up maybe being a bit smarter. Yeah, that's going to be the month ahead thing. That's tricky. I think that everything's going to be good. I would need to do like a more extensive reading, which to figure out the month. But I think it's going to be close. Like whatever your doctor has kind of suggested, I think it might be a little earlier than the doctor suggested, but I don't think it's going to be surprising. I think it's going to be, provided you're following directions, right? Because if they're telling you to do bed rest and you don't do bed rest, then the babies might arrive sooner if you're not following the rules there. And the key is, I think, following the rules. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I do. I think, yeah, one kid is going to definitely kind of side with you. Not that they're going to be just like you, but they're going to be, yeah, you're going to understand. I think you're going to understand the quiet one a bit more. Um, and then the emperor, I think your husband is going to find him funny, will be the best way. Like, you might find the emperor kid irritating, but your husband is going to find the emperor kid like funny. Almost like the kid's fearless in some ways. Um, July and August, possibly. Yeah, that's not far away. It could be a little bit, or it could be more July than August. Might be a little bit early, but that all depends on if you're following directions and you're getting the bed rest that you need. But I do see it being maybe, like, if they say it's going to happen sometime in July and August, I do see it happening, probably more in July than August. You say June or July, eh? I believe that. I think you're right. Because I see it like, when I was thinking about it and I was focusing on it, it basically said early. But if you want to have your kids sooner, you just have to not have to follow the bed rest thing, right? If you don't follow the bed rest, maybe your kids will pop out in May. But no, I think you're right. I think it is. Yeah, it'll be earlier than August. It probably won't be August. Well, we can say I'll pull a card for June, July, and August, and maybe we'll do yes or no's. Let's see. So we say June, July, August. So yeah, I think it might be end of June, because the card that we got is the Page of Cups, and it says a delightful surprise. So it could be June. Looks like positive to June. Yeah, and then no, it's June. I think it's June. It's going to be like end of June, early July, I think. Because when we pulled this for June, it said this card is basically the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is all about a delightful surprise. And they represent a delightful surprise by a fish popping out of a cup. So I guess he scooped up some water from the ocean and there's a fish in there. So yeah, so it looks like probably I'm not gonna say beginning of June. It's probably gonna be, if it is June, it's like towards the end of June. I make more sense than the doctor. Well, I would still listen to the doctors. They're the ones that usually know better. I don't have any medical degrees or anything. But I did get the sense that it would be earlier. Yeah, I do see good things. Things are gonna be headed in a pretty positive direction for you. So I don't think you need to be worried about anything. And I think that you're being well taken care of, which is also really good. Yeah, there you go. C-section. Yeah, it'll take some time to recover from that, but I know like in certain places, certain parts of the world, C-sections are actually the preferred way to uh to have a baby. A lot of women choose C-sections in various countries. I'm in Canada, so I think here in Canada they only give you a C-section if you need it, because our government pays for a lot of stuff. but but yeah, in other countries, I think you can book an appointment and have your baby however you want to. And if you are having a C-section, it may be like if they're telling you to do that, it's probably in relation to something specific with one of the kids. Maybe when we were seeing the one kid was being crushed a little. Maybe it's because of that. They want to. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. You don't want to have any complications. You know, in Texas. How does it work in Texas? Do you guys have to pay for everything in Texas, or do you have like insurance through work or something? Canada, we have a little bit easier. Like, the government here pays for most things that are crucial. But then in Canada, if like you want a private room, you have to pay for a private room. If you want extras, you have to pay for extras. But all the necessary stuff is covered. But then doctors in Canada, they'll like they'll take time to like diagnose you here. It takes a long time to figure stuff out because there's a big waiting list. Those babies, they act like they're in a kung fu match. Well, maybe they are in a kung fu match. When we were looking at it I got the feeling that the emperor baby was kind of like pushing in on the other, so they're probably fighting. Insurance pays most of it, sometimes depends on the insurance. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Here, like, when you have an employer, they give you additional insurance, but the insurance in Canada, like when you get through your work, the insurance in Canada is really because our government doesn't pay for like dental stuff. So if you get insurance here in Canada, usually your work insurance covers like dental stuff and eyeglasses and eye stuff and hearing stuff. So like eye like glasses and eye tests and exams, that's not covered by the government, and teeth aren't covered by the government. So and prescription medication, like the insurance will pay for some of your prescription medication and whatnot. Well, that's great. I think I'm going to. We're gonna. Ooh, want to visit Canada. It looks so beautiful. It is nice here in Canada. Um, you know, the bigger cities are very multicultural. So Toronto and Montreal, they're very big, multicultural, tons of great things. And then you go through the middle part of Canada, and there's not really a lot going on there. There's just like a lot of small towns. And then you get to the other side of Canada, you get to Vancouver and Calgary. They're kind of, bigger cities, more multicultural. You're welcome. I'm happy to have you in here and be giving you advice. I think I'll be kind of stopping the live stream now, but thanks so much for participating in these live streams with me. I really do appreciate it. Spread the word. Let people know that I'm doing these. It'd be really be appreciated. I'm gonna try to figure out kind of a standard day and time to start doing these now. I think I figured out how things are working with that. And you have a good new year to you too. Absolutely. I'll probably be doing another one of these in a couple days. So if you're online, feel free to drop in. Thanks so much. I'm gonna stop the stream now. And yeah, if anybody watching this afterwards, you want to reading with me, visit me on fiverr.com/r Christoph. And yeah, you can get a reading, a personal one-on-one reading with me for really good price. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody.